That's ridiculous, man. I would just let go of that belt. No, it's just disgusting. I mean, I told my son to be a real man.
It's not a good look. It doesn't look well. I mean, it's a turnoff. It gets everybody like kind of in a sense, turns everybody.
I had heard is that this drug is not detectable in blood, that it's a drug that's detectable in urine.
And they have to in a new test, right? The test.
Is it a new test?
From what I heard too is the USADA is.
You go court taking drugs, your charge. It's like fucking murder. If you fucking murder someone.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. unleashes a brutal attack on Shakur Stevenson following his failed drug tests. He publicly tears into Shakur, questioning how the boxing world continues to praise him despite the cloud of steroid allegations. This goes far beyond criticism. It's a full-scale dismantling, with Lopez Sr. warning that Shakur's credibility and reputation are hanging by a thread before the fight even happens.
They like this kid a lot, man. You know, no matter what they saying or whatever it is, he has steroids.
Teofimo Lopez joins the firestorm, firing back directly at Shakur Stevenson. He slams the failed drug tests as a major turnoff, saying they destroy credibility and betray the trust of fans. Lopez makes it clear this controversy isn't just about competition. It's about accountability, reputation, and exposing behavior that damages the sport as a whole.
Got jobbed. When I got jobbed, I didn't do it. I just got back, took care of my hold, and we came back and conquered. That's all you got to do. That's how you earn your respect and how you stay in the people's.
Derek Chisora delivers a harsh message to drug cheats in boxing. He insists that anyone caught using banned substances should face a 10-year ban, questioning why offenders are ever allowed back into the ring. Chisora criticizes the system for being too soft, sending a pointed warning to Shakur Stevenson and others that boxing must protect its integrity.
You know, everybody who gets caught taking drugs should get a fucking 10-year ban, man. Fuck everybody. I don't understand why we have to fucking footsie around.
Eddie Hearn highlights the growing uncertainty surrounding Shakur Stevenson's failed drug tests. He stresses that the British Boxing Board of Control has yet to take action, while legal proceedings remain unresolved. Hearn's tense remarks underline how serious the situation is, with outcomes that could dramatically alter Shakur's career and the fate of the fight.
The British Boxing Board of Control aren't. So we have to speak with them, deal with the legal situation and see where it lands. And this is quite fresh. Obviously, I don't even think it's 30 minutes. I think it's more like 10 or 15 minutes since that. And, you know, we'll see what...
Eddie Hearn also unloads on Jermaine Franklin, criticizing him for claiming innocence after failing a drug test. Hearn labels the situation arrogance mixed with system failure, arguing that excuses only further damage boxing's credibility. His frustration sends a loud warning to Shakur Stevenson and all fighters. Cheating carries consequences and the spotlight is firmly on them.
But do you know what is the absolute liberty about all of this? Is the way that he, after he failed that test on Monday, texts me, texts you, to say, I swear I've not taken anything. This is sabotage. This is just a system against me. Fuck off. It's an absolute, you know what, it makes me sick that
Gervonta Davis offers no sympathy, branding fighters who test positive yet continue competing as snakes and outright dangerous. His blunt condemnation exposes the hypocrisy within boxing, stressing the unfair advantage and serious risks posed by drug cheats. Davis makes it clear that compromised integrity has no place in the sport.
And we're still gonna let him fight. Still was gonna let him fight.
Dillian White fought after he tested.
Who?
Dillian White.
Dillian White after testing positive. See, I didn't even know that. Bro, he's a snake, bro.
Liam Goff breaks down the science behind drug testing, explaining how even trace amounts of substances can remain detectable depending on whether saliva, urine, or hair tests are used. His analysis serves as a warning that no violation is too small to escape detection, and even minor infractions can carry severe career consequences.
Out there, if depending on the amount, that will depend on how long it remains in your system. So from what I can gather, if you've taken a very limited amount, very little amounts, it could stay in your system. Depending on the nature of the test, if it was a saliva test, if it was a urine test, if it was a hair test, it's going to stay in your system a lot longer. But
Johnny Nelson reacts with disbelief, calling out Shakur for risking everything by taking banned substances. He questions the logic of using something that can remain in the system for weeks, labeling the decision reckless. Nelson stresses that this isn't a simple mistake, but a serious lapse in judgment that damages professionalism and trust.
You won't know what stays for 2 weeks. I don't know, why would you take it knowing there's a possibility that it's going to be in your system. And why would you take it for our sport anyway?
Adam Catterall responds to Shakur's failed drug test by calling it shocking and deeply disappointing. He emphasizes that performance-enhancing drug use stains boxing's reputation and lets down fans, opponents, and the sport itself. His reaction reflects how seriously the boxing community views violations and the demand for accountability.
When any fighter fails a performance-enhancing drug test, it is incredibly shocking and disappointing.
Spencer Oliver expresses disbelief after learning Shakur tested positive for recreational drugs like cocaine. He highlights how absurd it is to risk a career and endanger opponents by entering a fight with such substances in the body. Oliver demands answers, calling the decision reckless in a sport where lives are at stake.
Blown away by what it is, you know, recreational drugs, cocaine, you just go, how has that got in your system? He's got some explaining to do for one, and you think with what you had on the line and with what you was, you know, what was coming up for you and the opponent you had in front of you, you just go like cocaine in your system.
Adam Smith admits he was caught off guard by the situation, pointing to the lack of clear official statements surrounding Shakur's failed test. He notes how quickly rumors spread on social media, creating confusion and speculation. Smith highlights how every detail now carries weight for the fight's legitimacy.
And I'll wait and see what happens. I mean, I don't know the findings. We don't know. I haven't seen statements really. I don't know. It's come out in the social media.
Carl Frampton takes an uncompromising stance, condemning high-profile fighters caught using performance-enhancing drugs as completely unacceptable. He argues that in a sport as dangerous as boxing, cheating puts lives at risk and should result in lifetime bans. Frampton frames doping as both a moral failure and a safety threat, issuing a stark warning to all fighters.
I didn't do that when I got jobbed. When I got jobbed, I didn't do that. I just got back, took care of my health, and we came back and conquered. That's all you got to do. That's how you earn your respect and how you stay in the people's eye.
Tony Bellew describes the situation as terrifying for boxing, arguing that failed drug tests turn the sport into a chaotic spectacle. He warns that when rules are ignored, safety, fairness, and public trust collapse. Bellew stresses that doping scandals don't just harm individuals, they undermine the foundation of boxing itself.
It's not that it's bad, it's frightening. But listen, this isn't boxing as a sport, this is the circus.
Guardiola offers a cautious perspective, suggesting there may be alternative explanations for how the substance entered Shakur's system, while admitting such scenarios seem unlikely. He urges fairness and restraint but repeatedly emphasizes how wild and unprecedented the situation is. His reaction highlights the thin line between accidental ingestion and deliberate wrongdoing.
I've watched Deontay Wilder's. I've been ringside for 2 of Deontay Wilder's last 3 fights. I watched the last fight. He's not in his prime. I mean, he is
Duke McKenzie voices disbelief over Shakur failing both A and B samples, questioning how such results are even possible. He stresses that consecutive positive tests represent a serious breach of the rules, not a minor error. McKenzie outlines how this casts long-term doubt over Shakur's legitimacy and threatens boxing's credibility.
How can he give a sample and then a B sample and they both come back positive for a banned substance? It doesn't make any sense.
Gareth A. Davies reveals new details, explaining that Shakur had reportedly been using around 14 different supplements, an alarming number that raises immediate concerns. Drawing on insights from doping experts, Davies highlights how easily fighters can fall foul of complex anti-doping regulations. His analysis shows how excessive supplementation can spiral into scandal, putting careers and reputations at risk.